Hello everybody, welcome to Loch Briar Knits. This is episode 143 or 144. I am Kelly, your hostess. Welcome to all the new and returning viewers. If you're a new viewer, feel free to click the like and subscribe button down below. I usually try to do a podcast every 2 weeks, and then I have a monthly kind of day in the life vlog. I hear the dog coming. Hi! Don't knock everything over. She's still battling the kennel cough. We have her on antibiotics. I seem to be worse for wear than she is. Where shall we start? Let's start with the, oh my God. Oh, can you tell I'm stressed? My mind just totally blanked. Felix sweater. So there's the Felix sweater, and then there was my stress knitting. And we can thank the stress knitting for Chuckles here and her kennel cough. The first week of this month, I took her into the vet to get all of her shots, including her kennel cough shot. And about maybe 2 or 3 days later, she started coughing a little bit, just kind of like a mild cough. But it was sort of persistent enough that I was like, I think that might be kennel cough. But it wasn't like a super hacking cough. So I took her into the vet and they're like, yeah, that looks like it's kennel cough. So they said, just take her home, keep her away from other dogs, and just keep an eye on it. And if it gets worse, bring her back. Because at this point it was pretty mild. And then one night it was kind of really, you could tell it had definitely gotten worse. I barely slept all through the night since this has started. I keep waking up at like 2 or 4 in the morning, or anytime she makes a sound. So anyway, we took her back to the vet, put her on antibiotics, and then for, I would say we almost got to the end of the second day. There was like no coughing at all. And they gave us a cough suppressant too, so that if she started coughing, we could kind of give her that to sort of help it. So then she took a little coughing jag. We gave her the cough suppressant. She slept through the night and everything was fine. She's had a couple of like little coughs since then, but nothing too major. So anyway, I've just been stressed out. Now granted, she's only on day 3 of the antibiotics and we have them for 7 days. So I've been a stress ball. So I've done some stress knitting, and let's dive into it. So let's start with the Felix sweater, because I did finish the first sleeve. I am knitting it out of Cascade 220 in the Sparrow colorway. So I think this has been a little bit of not a catastrophe, because everything's worked out fine. But if you watched my previous attempt at explaining what I did, I basically knit the collar and then started doing these short rows. For some reason, could not remember for the life of me how to do short rows, German short rows, going in the purl direction. I don't know why I blanked on it. I have no idea. Menopause. That's why I blanked on it. Then I kind of messed things up, so I tore it all out and I started again. And I think for the needle, or the needle you use in the collar, was a smaller needle that you were just supposed to, I think, cast the collar on with and then switch to the 5mm, which I forgot to do. So I think I was down to about here using the smaller needle. I had just done the first little eyelet rows, so you can see here, this one is definitely smaller than the others. And then I realized what I had done, and I thought, I have finished the short rows. I am not going back and starting this thing all over for the 3rd time. So I switched to the needle I was supposed to, but then I got down to about here-ish and realized that one of the needles was a 6mm like it was supposed to be, and then the other needle on the other end was a 6.5. Once I realized that, I switched over to the other one to a 6 point, so both were 6.6mm. I continued on my merry way. But then when I got to the sleeve, I have my mini set of shorties for doing sleeves, but those only go up to 5mm. And I just did not want to do magic loop for the arms. I just didn't feel like it. I just wanted mindless, round, in the round knitting. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it in 5mm because, are you leaving? Don't. Oh, very good. Well done. I thought I'm going to do 5mm because I don't mind, like this here is a bit of a tighter sleeve. It doesn't have like a whole lot of give to it. This is my Pebble Bay sweater by Marie Green, which I'm going to make another one of. I love this sweater. I love it. This is made out of Jody Long. I'll show you because I got some new yarn as a birthday gift. I had a gift card. I didn't buy it. Well, I mean, I bought it, but I didn't pay for it. Are you're coming back? Oh, yeah, come on in. She's looking at me like I'm the weird one. I thought that's fine. I'm fine with a tight sleeve. It is a little tight. Like I tried it on when I finished it. And at first I thought that I had made it way too short because when I put it on, it was like the sleeve was like to here. And I was like, oh, it's just because it's tight. So I pulled it down. It was fine. It went like to about here. But I also know with Cascade 220, this will usually, I find that it definitely loosens, not a lot, but enough that when I block it, and I may block it and kind of stretch the arms out a little bit, it should be fine. But it's a good length. It's, I love the color. Just have one sleeve. I have one sleeve left to do. I have one sleeve left to do. And then we're good to go. So I am going to try to get that done before the next podcast. So we will have a finished object. I don't know if it'll get blocked in time, but we'll have a finished object. I can surely finish a sleeve in 2 weeks. So the stress knitting. So here's my stress knitting. So for any of you that were with me during the Vlogmas, you will know that I got my Smash Knits Advent calendar, and it is a fade. So I have decided to do the Habitation by Curious Handmade, and it is lovely. I love how this is turning out. Okay, so it starts off as a cream, and then it goes into kind of like a light gray with some speckling, and then it goes into a gray with some more speckling and kind of like some more black speckles. I think you can see the black speckles a little more on this side maybe. And then we go into just a nice light gray here. And you can see as the wider it gets, kind of the thinner the sections get. And then we move into this one that I'm doing here. And this is I would say this is almost like a very, very, very pale, like brownish color, and you can kind of see it's got like some very light speckling in it, and that's this one here. And it's knitting up very fast. I am spending a lot of time on this one because it's just a complete mindless, like it's just, you just do the ends, you know, to like do the I-cord edging, which is lovely. I love that. And then it's just sort of straight garter back and forth for like so many rows, and then you'll do like an eyelet row. So the one that comes next is sort of a very light brown. And then after that is going to be, so this is going to be color 6, and then this will be the color that comes after it, color 7. So you can see now we're kind of getting away from the grays and more into the browns. I mean, honestly, I could not have chosen a better choice for an advent calendar. Honestly, the colors are just so up my alley. This was my 3rd advent calendar. They're really expensive, and I mean the amount of work that goes into them. honestly, worth every penny. But they are expensive. I am very tempted to get another smash knit one next year. I just love, this has been my favorite. I haven't actually used the one from the year before, which was a homespun house. I'm trying to decide what to do with this. I had made my mom a habitation throw for Christmas out of a big wicker basket up there filled with like all the leftover sock yarn and stuff like that. So I used that and I made my mom one, and my sister saw it and really loved it. Now my sister, I took my first advent calendar that I ever got, which was 10-gram minis from Sweet Sparrow, and I made her it was a scarf design, and I can't remember who it was for. I'll try to remember to put it down. But it was using the minis there to make like a nice long scarf. So I made that for her. And she saw the blanket I made my mom, and she was like, that was really nice. So I may use the homespun ones for that for her and give that to her for next Christmas maybe. I am actually going to try to do a lot of my gifts I would like to be knitted for next year for a lot of people. Because I have a lot of yarn to use up, and I love getting handmade gifts. And usually the people that I give, like if I do like a pair of socks or a cowl or a blanket or something like that, like they always seem to appreciate it. Like I don't think they're faking it. I mean, who doesn't like hand knit socks? Come on. So those are the two things that I've been working on this week, and mostly this. I'm going to have to get a bigger bag. I think this is one of my Alex Collins bags. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm going to have to size up on this. What I did, oh yeah, actually before we get into that, I will show you. So with my birthday gift certificate from my husband, I did this. So this is the Estelle Echo Andean DK wool. So it is a beautiful dark chocolate brown, and I am pairing it with this stunning caramel color. Hi, you back, are you? Okay, yeah. Come on, come. You got it. You got it. You just gonna, yeah, hi. Somebody's being a little sweet. Where's your babies? Come here. Come. Where's your baby? So I am going to pair these two together. I don't know what sweater I am making yet. This is a DK, and this is the light brown version of that wool. If I go DK and then this, I should have a worsted. But I really want to see how this blends together. Like I love dark brown. Like I love browns. I'm such a Capricorn. But this color here, I just love it. Like it's just this rich caramel color. Like I just want to eat it. So I'm really interested to see how these play together. So I think what I am going to do is I'm going to knit these up. I'm going to knit a swatch, and I think I'm going to do like a larger swatch, kind of maybe like that, just to get a sense of what the gauge is, and then I'm going to match that up to a sweater. That was my birthday gift that I got to pick out myself. The other thing I did was, as I was cleaning up a little bit back there before, there's all these bags down here with stuff in them, and I don't know what they are, and I don't like to have languishing whips. I don't know what's in this one. Oh, right. So I had originally planned on using up some of my extra leftover Cascade 220, and I was going to make my brother-in-law a pair of the Fire Pit Mitts, which is a pattern by Taylor Earl from Wool Needles Hands. But I ended up doing the blanket for him, and then I didn't really have time to finish these. So I think I will put these on the list for next Christmas. The only thing is I feel like those are too wide. Oh, maybe not. Maybe that'll be fine for him because I got skinny wrists. No, I think those will be fine then. Okay, so anyways, these are going to go on the Christmas make list for next year. And I think something like that will be one of the things I pick away at through the year. What else have we got? I had decided I was gonna try, this is my Campfire Stories colorway. And I thought I'm gonna try knitting on a 9-inch circular to see how I like it. I didn't mind, like for sock knitting. I didn't mind it. I do love how this knits up. Like, oh, can I brag about my own yarn? Can I do that? I love how that knits up. I'm gonna have to knit some more of that for coming up. I don't love doing the 9-inch circs, but I don't know, I don't quite grasp how to do the heel flap and gusset on the 9-inch circulars. So I think once I get to, like, now that I'm at that part, I am gonna flip over and switch to magic loop and do the rest of it in magic loop. But these have been languishing, I think, just because I was trying to decide what to do now that I've reached the heel flap gusset part, because I just didn't want to do that in on the 9-inch circs. I like my sock knitting to be stress-free. I don't want to learn a new technique. I just want to knit a sock. So this is in one of my loop sock sacks with little chickens on it. So that's gonna stay. What other goodies have we got going on in these bags? Oh God, yeah. This one, I love this sock. I think I'm even at the point where I can do the toe. All right, so here is, I had dyed up a sock set, which consisted of a 50-gram mini and then 2 20-gram minis to go with it. So I thought, oh, I'm just gonna like haphazardly stripe it, which I did. I really like it. So I was just basically kind of throwing in stripes wherever I felt like it. You can kind of see here the jog. That's a pretty egregious jog right there. I'm hoping that'll tighten up once do I have an end to weave it? Yeah, when I tighten up the ends. Maybe 2 years these have been on the needles, so I think these need to get finished. I usually don't have, like, I'm usually really good at starting a sock and finishing it, but for some reason, I don't know why. I don't know why I stopped on this one. I have no idea. These 2 sock projects are going to be next on the sock knitting list. And then the other thing I've got here, these are all the leftovers from the shrugs, the Friday and Saturday shrugs that I did. And there's a fair bit left. So I think I might just make another shrug out of them and do that for a gift for Christmas next year. And then this is like this was the batch I used for the Friday shrug, which I wished I'd made it a little wider. I gotta empty out these bags and either put it in my leftover stash to be used later or decide I'm gonna do something with it now. Because all of these languishing whips are driving me crazy. So that's my plan. I'm going to finish the sleeve of the Felix sweater. I'm going to keep knitting on the habitation throw, make some progress on that. I'm going to finish off those 2 languishing sock whips. After, I have socks on the go right now, don't I? Do I? Oh no, I do. I have the shroom socks, which I didn't bring up because I haven't actually made any progress on those. Maybe like that much. So I'm on the 2nd sock for those ones. So I'll finish the shroom socks, then I'll finish off these 2 languishing whips for socks, work on the Felix sleeve and get that done, and then just keep working on the habitation throw. And then, since I'm almost very close to being done the Felix sweater, I'm gonna have to figure out what my next sweater is going to be. And if you were with me for the Make 9, this is the yarn that is getting used in sweaters this year for the Make 9, because I am doing my Make 9 as yarn, not as patterns. So I don't know which I want to use next. I'm thinking I could do another Felix sweater, but I just did a Felix sweater, so I may leave my 2nd Felix sweater until maybe the fall to do. So I am kind of tempted to use this. I thought that I had oh my god, I'm totally blanking. I had another gray one. And I was thinking this was it. Anyway, I have had the shelter since we went to Ireland, which was before the pandemic. I may do that. Or I may do the Quince & Co. because I've had that even longer than I've had the shelter. But we'll see. I think the shelter will knit up quicker because it is a worsted weight. So that makes sense to kind of, you know, something I can bang out fast. I don't know what I'm going to knit with it though. So I might look around and into my stash of patterns, the other stash, and just see what I can get that matches up to the gauge there. And then I might even get that cast on before I finish the sleeve, just so I've got like the color done anyway, cast on, so that once I finish off that sleeve, I can just kind of jump into it. There's not going to be any, oh, the cast on. There's not going to be any excuse not to jump right into it or to get distracted by something else, because that will already have been stirred. That is about everything. There's not really much else going on. It has been mostly the last 2 weeks have been dealing with the dog. That's my life now. And knitting, dealing with the dog and stress knitting. That's been my last 2 weeks. The other thing that I have is I have these two skeined up. So these are 2 fingering weight, which will give me a DK. Yeah, that gives me a DK. I love the colors of these. It's 2 of my favorite yarns. This is Illimani. This is Hypothesis yarn. She's not dyeing anymore. I want to make sure that it's a sweater I'm going to wear a lot. But yeah, so I really want to see how these knit up together. Anyway, I'm rambling now, so I am going to let you guys go. And I am going to get some knitting done and hang out with the pooch and get this edited and uploaded. So I will see you guys probably in another 2 weeks. So I hope you guys are all doing well and that you're getting back into the swing of things after the holidays and that you're getting lots of knitting done. So I will check in with you guys in a couple of weeks, and until then, happy knitting. Bye!